Good morning and welcome to day 6 of the World Championships here at the Maracanãzinha Stadium in Rio de Janeiro. We've got the final day of the individual competition and 3 weights to bring you. But before we do that, let's welcome David McFall with his roundup of all of yesterday's action. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Sheldon. Well, we saw some exciting judo yesterday. I think both of us were really impressed with the win by Seoul of Korea.
Yeah, Seoul was a little bit of a dark horse because there's not a great deal known about her, and she came out in a good category. Mayra Aguiar, Audrey Chiamio, they're two Chiamio was the reigning world champion, Olympic bronze medalist. Aguiar also a bronze medal winner in London. So it wasn't as though that there wasn't top draw competition. Marhinda Verkerk, a former world champion. There were some tough people in there, and Seoul came out on top. Not necessarily with the most sparkling of judo, but there were some flashes in there, just some signs that she's got some stuff. And I can imagine with a little bit more exposure, she would probably be a real handful. Anyway, she proved a real handful yesterday, and she took the gold medal for the North Koreans, the 5th gold medal that they've won at World Championships, and all 4 of the others were won by Kaesuni, the under 48, 52, 57 dynamo from North Korea.
So actually she was the 2nd gold medal winner.
She was only the 2nd gold medalist that the North Koreans have ever had, and congratulations to them. But let's take a look at the category, the under 90 kilo category, because we had the 1, 2, 3, 4 on the podium. I'm not quite sure. I know that there's so many fighters there that you might not remember them all, but I'm going to hope that David remembers who the 1, 2, 3, 4 were in the under 90 kilo category.
Well, let's start out with the 1, 2, 3, 4 in terms of ranking.
No, just who.
Okay.
Ranking and who won, because it's the same.
Well, let's talk about First thing, the 2 bronze medal winners. Well, Iliadis, a lot of people thought was going to go to the top of the podium, at least make the final. But he didn't quite get there because Gonzalez took care of him in the semifinals. And this was a real feather in the cap, I think, for Gonzalez. He had a tough road to hoe to get up to the final. And on the other side, Denisov came in 3rd place. He did really, really well. I really thought it was going to be an Iliadis-Denisov final, to tell you the truth. But Gonzalez prevails, and he ends up fighting
Lipatiliani.
That's right, the Georgian.
The number 1 seed. So 1 and 2 actually got to the final. Lipatiliani was the number 1 seed, and Gonzalez was the number 2. They ended up in the final, and David has quite correctly already mentioned the 2 bronze medalists, Kirill Denisov of Russia and Iliadis of Greece. That was the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 just swapped places. You had 2 winning and 1 coming 2nd, but that worked out absolutely perfectly as far as the seedings were concerned.
Yeah, on paper, basically pretty much almost matched what actually happened in the competition.
Right, well, we've done the wrap-up on what happened yesterday.
Got one more category from yesterday.
Go on.
Can't forget Aguiar.
Aguiar we already spoke about in the under 78 kilo category.
That's right. Okay.
She got wiped out by Seoul.
Oh, not Aguiar, Aguar.
Oh, Alver.
Alver. Sorry.
Alver. sorry. Alver buried any talk about a lucky win in Rotterdam, and I've been saying that for a long time. You know, you don't win a World Championships and just be lucky. And then she followed that up with her Olympic bronze medalist, and now she's come back and won a 2nd world title. The Colombian, seeing off all challengers. Decos fell by the wayside as well. You know, there were some quality fighters in there as well. That was a really, really good category. Laura Vargas Koch, Kim Polling, they all tumbled.
That's
in
right.
the end.
And we saw the last of Lacoste, right? She's done.
Yeah, Decos gave us a big wave she gave the crowd a big wave on the way out, and we gave her a standing ovation.
A great champion.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, let's take a look at today.
Right, let's go quickly through this then. It's the under 100, the plus 100 for men, and then the plus 78 kilo category for women. Elkan Mammadov of Azerbaijan is the number 1 seed. Henk Grol is the number 2. The number 3 is Lukas Kopalik of the Czech Republic. And then the number 4 seed is the Iranian Javad Majoub. That's the lineup there. I'm interested to see Shah Hussain of Pakistan, who's training in Japan.
He's been training for Japan for quite a while.
Big, strong, tall, strapping fighter. I'd be interested to see what he can do, but he's in the Pool A, which also has Or Sasson of Israel, Ramadan Darwish of Egypt, and Ono Takashi of Japan.
So that's a very tough pool there.
Filip Owiti Alcaraz, a youngster, is also up there, and Martin Pacek of Sweden. That's all in Pool A. Incredible.
You get through that, you deserve a spot in the finals.
Grol is probably the most fancied here, to be honest. He's the number 2 seed, and he is the Olympic bronze medalist. So that's in the under 100 kilo category.
Let's take a look at 100 plus. And
well, Rafael Silva is the number 1 seed. Teddy Riner is the number 2. The number 3 is Adam Okrashvili of Georgia, and then the number 4 is Andreas Tölzer. Who's your picks? Who are your picks in there?
Well, let's put it this way. Ranier is pretty much, I don't want to say a foregone conclusion, but that is going to be a tough mountain to climb, quite literally. Though I did see today when he had his judo gi off, he had his shoulders taped up. So maybe he's got a little bit of a disadvantage there, but I'll tell you what, anybody who emerges out of Pool A in this one is going to be tough, with Silva, Kim, and Chichinohe all in Pool A.
There is a tough fight for Kim first up against Robert Zimmerman, and Luri Krakovetsky, the youngster from Kyrgyzstan. He's not a bad look either. And Marius Paskevchus of Lithuania. As David said, Pool A, an absolute nightmare. Some of the other names in there?
Well, I think Pool B, first fight, Tolzer versus Badar. Tolzer, you know, the Tolzer turnover, we've talked about it before. He's going to be dangerous on the ground.
Faisal Jabala of Tunisia and Islam El Shahabi of Egypt are also in there. A little bit lower down, Oscar Brayson of Cuba may have something to say, but he's in the pool with Teddy Riner.
That's right.
And then right down at the bottom, Adam Okrashvili. Well, I think he's probably going to have the stiffest competition from Chokwam.
That's right, that's right.
Right, let's take a quick look then at the plus 78 kilo category. The number 1 seed is Maria Suelen Althaman of Brazil. The Brazilians are looking for another medal on this last day of individual competition. But the Olympic champion is here, the Cuban Idalis Ortiz. The Japanese representative is Tachimoto Megumi, no Sugimoto Mika, but Tachimoto has been training with Tsukada Maki. I've seen them warming up, and they've been banging away every day. No Chinese heavyweight. That's really unusual.
Yeah, I'll have to check that, but I think Tachimoto is also from Tokai University, where Skuna came from. So,
all right, that's the lineup for today. The opening contest in the plus 100 kilo category on mat number 2 is what we're going to start off with. That's Marius Paskevchus of Lithuania, and he faces Luri Krakovetsky of Lithuania. Sit back and enjoy the action.
Get ready for the heavyweights.
Here we are, the Maracanazinho Arena. We've had the lighter weights, and David McFall is quite correct in saying, get ready for the heavier weights. That's Marius Paskevchus, and that is Luri Krakovetsky. We came in on the bus with him this morning, David.
That's what we did.
The big guy said hello to us.
We were in the bus yesterday with Tolzer, and I cut in front of him, but I thought I was going to get my... No, he's actually a really nice guy. I was like, oh.
The opening contest in the plus 100 kilo category at these World Championships is underway. Paskevchus in the white judogi and Krakowiecki in blue. Down on mat number 3. I really like the look of Shimjio, tall fighter for the for South Korea in the under 100 kilo category. He looks a really, really good shape. He's up against Feyyaz Yatsizi of Turkey, and then down on mat number 1, Dominic Dugasse of the Seychelles fights the equally formidably shaped or Sasson of Israel. Those two guys are absolutely, you know, perfect specimens of 100 kilo category fighters.
Beasts.
Yeah, really are. And Sasson had fought up at plus 100, but he only got up to 108, 110, and they thought you're just not going to get big enough. So he came back down, and he's fighting at under 100. And Paskevchus also, he medaled at the World Championships in Rotterdam. He also fought previously at under 100 kilos.
And Paskevchus went there for Sasai and almost got countered right there.
He decided to go the other way and go up. Not at all sure that that was the best bet, but he probably just couldn't make the weight any longer. Shah also looks, you know, that kind of tall. Yep.
Big Uchimata there.
See, Krakowiecki, he's not a bad boy, is he? I mean, he looks a bit tubby, short and stocky, but that's a nice technique.
It's a really nice technique. A little ken there, but
yep,
not too much. Goes in there.
You know, if you just take a look at him, you think, oh, roly-poly. Oh, yeah.
Well,
he threw really nice there. Slightly deceptive.
People kind of thought Muneta was roly-poly too.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And
true.
I always liked about Muneta is, you know, against these big, tall guys, he would always go toe-to-toe. And I really wish that one of these guys would step up against Rainier and do the same thing.
Let's see if we see that today. Or Sasson has just thrown Dominic Dugasse of the Seychelles. So Ippon down on mat number 1. He's through to the next round. Paskevchus trails by Wazari here.
Well, Paskevchus looks like he's working a little harder now. He's got a deep grip going there, and he goes in for a little tap there. Try to test the waters for Uchimata. Now he goes deeper, almost gets to the belt there. Abandons that grip. And Krakowiecki goes for a Kosoto and just bangs White's head right into Tommy there.
Talking about Paskevchus winning a bronze medal at the World Championships in 2009. He won that at the plus 100 kilo category.
The Lithuanian just won it from Maki Komi. That kind of slipped out.
Teddy Riner was gold medalist in Rotterdam. Oscar Brayson was silver. Paskevchus took bronze, as did Abdullah Tangriyev of Uzbekistan, and only the Uzbek is missing. We've got Riner, Brayson, Paskevchus, they're here. So that quality is still around.
So far, this is a good match. There's been a lot of attacks, a lot of small attacks. I like the fact that they're not sitting there playing with their grips for 10 minutes. Oh, and that's a really beautiful Sasai right there by Krakowiecki. So
there's something about him, isn't there?
Well, with a Sasai like that, again, that reminded me of Muneta.
Nice Uchimata. Paskevicius is a big guy. We've just spoken about his record. He's got some quality, and Krakowiecki puts him away.
That's right.
Throws him really, really well twice with 2 different techniques. Yeah, I wore the
the
Kyrgyzstan
pin,
lapel badge this morning.
Yes.
I didn't pick him to win it, but I'll claim a little bit of that. He went to the Universiade as well. Krakowiecki put on a good show there. Just a youngster, so showed some nice judo there, didn't he?
See if they can show how he set up the Sasai.
Yeah,
which was really nice. There we go, beautiful. So he had the grip up underneath the armpit there, but deep in the back, and gets the Sasai.
Nice hands.
It wasn't a particularly helpful angle there with that close-up of his feet, but very good job there with the hands. And coming up here, we have Zimmerman versus Kim. This is a match that you had mentioned in our preview there.
Robert Zimmerman of Germany faces a tough task against Kim Soo-hwan of South Korea.
And Zimmerman had a nice look there at Seanage. Kim did a good job of circling his feet around and managing to block it out. That was a good entry by Zimmerman.
Nice start to the day. Paskevicius and Krakowiecki, that gave us a little bit to look at.
And another Seanage entry, not as crisp that time. Kind of slipped off the side there. Didn't really get very deep with the arm into the armpit of Kim. Thus far, Zimmerman showing a little better attacks than Kim.
It looks as though
and Kim gets a passivity there.
Looks as though they're going to do all of the plus 100 kilo category on mat 2.
Okay. But that'll be easy to find then.
Yeah, just stay
We've got
right
some
here.
Good matches, yeah. The next 2 or 3 matches look really, really nice. Especially I like that Tolzo Padar that's coming up 2 matches from now. But right now we have Kim versus Zimmerman, and Kim is behind just by a penalty.
I like the look of the Shichinue Mohamed Razak Mohamed contest coming up next, just to get things going.
Shah's teammate.
Ooh.
Oh, that was it. That was a really good look there from Kim. I don't know why. Hit the Osalta there. No side there by Zimmerman. Yeah. Oh. It's going to get a Yuko maybe? Yep, a Yuko it is for Kim. So yeah, another Sasai. And Zimmerman drops in into Toanage. And that should score Wazari,
I think that was better.
That was, ladies and gentlemen, that was not the super slow-mo camera.
This is. Come on. I like that better.
Wazari, right?
For Wazari, yeah.
Good control by Zimmerman there. Oh, he kept both arms in there, didn't really allow Kim to twist out. Only gets a Yuko though. Bit stingy, I think.
Mm.
Oh,
no, he pays for
Makikomi.
it. Yeah. close call.
So Kim took a little while
Yeah.
there to get warmed up, but once he did, and Zimmerman is holding his knee.
He'll be bitterly disappointed because despite the toughness of the draw, he'll have wanted to, you know, make some headway
Sure.
in the competition, but he's unable to get past Kim Soo-hwan, and the South Korean goes into the next round.
Are the Germans fielding a team tomorrow?
I'm sure they will, yeah.
Well, this is going to be tough because if Zimmerman was, I could see that torque on that knee. That was nasty.
Well, there's always
see-
Tulsa.
That's true. That's right. They do have Tolzer.
Yeah.
You could see that.
As a backup.
Yeah. I would say that might be a meniscus or an ACL. And moving right along, we have Shichino Ryu from Japan versus Razak Mohammed from Pakistan.
Right. I like the look of the heavyweights so far. Some big techniques
Yeah, some good judo.
to get things going.
Oh, and Chichine takes out Mohammed there. So it looks like we saw him warming up just in front of us this
Yep.
morning. And it would appear that
He's ready for business.
game on.
That is better.
Yes.
Whoa.
Uchimata.
Yeah, he leaves a little bit of
I was
space
going to
in
say a
there,
little
you
bit
know,
too
yeah.
much space. I would say it's a little sloppy.
Yeah.
I mean, he had speed coming in there, but he wants to get that body drawn up there. That's why I was a little bit hesitant naming the technique right away because didn't have that tight look, the two torsos parallel like you would have on Uchimata.
Sol Kyung, world champion, was in that first shot.
You had a chance to speak with her last night?
I did actually, yes. Martina Traidos just saw one of her teammates go out, but here's another one.
Well, speaking of
Some of-
Tolzer,
Some of the Austrian team there. Martin Padar in the blue judogi. So here it is then. Andreas Tölzer of Germany faces Martin Padar of Estonia. And here's David McFall.
Martin Padar certainly fills out a door frame, doesn't he? Big, big fella. And they go right to the tatami, and this is not a good place you want to be if you're with Tolzer.
Osai Komi. Osai Komi is already on, and
Tolzer, it's a heavyweight.
Whoops,
You're with
whoops.
Tolzer. This is just not where you want to be. But
he's managed to escape
yeah.
just. Yesterday,
I would have liked to have seen Tolzer, his positioning there. He could have tightened that up a little bit. You were saying yesterday?
David was on the bus with Tölzer yesterday, and they had a bit of a bump as to who would leave the bus first. They were squeezing through the door, and David quite
Well, he was squeezing through the door. I was walking through the door.
jokingly said to him, I thought you were going to turn me over there, because he's famous for that turnover, and I thought that was really, really good. That you should take that opportunity to just drop that in there.
Yeah, he kind of gave me that little bit of a wry grin there.
Yeah, he thought it was funny. He said, I'm hoping to use it tomorrow.
Well, Budar was definitely lucky to get out of that Newaza position with Tolzer. I thought it was all over for him.
First fight up. Tölzer gets to work his turnover on the ground. Yuko is the lead. All that work, and he's just come out with a Yuko. Padar's got to be a little bit quicker in going over there and attacking. And they let him get away with it, but
Looking for, look like an Osoto Makikomi or something like that. Padar's got a deep grip again here, deep position.
Tolter cleverly just blocking it and leaving Padar to pick up another penalty. This time just hanging on there for too long.
Padar's already got 3 penalties on his card here, so he grabs the belt, and this time he lets it go after not being able to execute a throw. Call mate. Tolzer leads by Yuko, in addition to a series of penalties by Padar.
And we've still got more than half the contest to come.
That's right, that's right.
Hasn't done this well, has he, Martin? Not this time round.
You almost think the way, how quickly he got caught in that Newaza right away is his head in the game this morning.
He doesn't want to go back on the ground as well. He knows that
Tolzer's dangerous on the ground.
He's got the beating of him on the ground, yeah.
So it looks like, and there we go. And Padar is finished for the day.
Shame, really. You know, Padar could have offered up a little bit more there.
I was expecting more of him this morning. That was a match I was really looking forward to, and this was the setup here for the Newaza. And this is how Padar was able to roll out of it, and that was well done. That was the first effort. The second, not really bridging as much as just sort of rolling his torso and using all that heft that he has to break that grip that Tolzer had. And coming up now, I guess we're going to stay here.
Darrell Castillo of Guatemala faces Joseph Bebezi of Cameroon. There are 2 fighters on here, Castillo and Bebezi. It's their moment in the World Championship spotlight. Both fighters not from that top level of judo nations, and they're drawn against each other. So there's a chance here for one of these to get a win at the World Championships and progress to the next round. The winner of this, by the way, will face Andreas Tolzer in the second round. So, you know, you win some,
you lose some. Well, we'll give them a little credit here.
Well, one of them's going to win, so that part of it is true.
But Bebezi's sporting one of those IGF gis. So perhaps Bebezi didn't have a conforming gi.
And there's no... Is there a coach in the chair?
I don't see... Well, it's kind of tough to always have that cameraman there, but...
Because that's the rule. If your gi fails, then you lose your coach. I love that. I love that rule. Yuko on the board there for Bebezi of Cameroon.
Yeah, I think it's a fair penalty.
I like it. Failed a few more of them. Yeah, there's
that nice Ochi attempt there.
There's someone that looks like the Cameroon coach shouting from the first row of the stands. It's presumably where he's been asked to do his coaching from.
Well, I'm liking the attack so far by Bebezi, though. I say that, and Castillo just came in. Bebezi's got a big frame, big tall fella, and he looks for a Sasai there, but loses his grip. And Castillo goes in looking for an Osoto. We didn't really see it from this angle. It might have been an Osoto Makikomi, but Bebezi's able to slip out. Our first Brazilian entering the arena, and for this early, I think we have got a good-sized crowd. The kids will come in later. This is when the real judo fans are here.
Yeah, the weekend should see a better, a more knowledgeable crowd.
Right.
Not a better crowd, but a slightly more knowledgeable crowd. Down on mat number 1, Renan Nunes of Brazil faces Dimitri Peters of Germany, the Olympic bronze medalist.
And as we were talking, Barbesi picks up a Yuko. Meantime, Castillo has 2 penalties against him with this match halfway over. And a big Ouchi there from Barbesi. Castillo able to slip off, and Castillo comes around looking for the Makikomi. And a bit of a Unanage chance there for Barbesi. Failed really to get Castillo up on his hip. So still the score remains a Yuko to Barbesi, 2 penalties to Castillo.
Oops.
Barbesi again goes in for that Ouchi. Castillo has a chance at a counter there. Just a little bit more drive perhaps by Castillo, and he probably could have scored at least a Yuko.
I'm glad that they just let that one go as he fell. It wasn't really doing anything and spoilt their opportunity completely.
Barbesi looking for Haragoshi there. No, he's looking for Osoto and ends up trying to sweep the leg out. Certainly Barbesi's got, I think, the physical requirements to do well in this division. Big, tall, muscular build.
We found his coach.
Found his coach. Meantime, Castillo has his 3rd warning up there.
But
and actually it's waved off now.
Okay.
His 3rd penalty, I should say. There are no more Chewies.
That's correct.
No Chewies, no Kokas. Looking for bigger scores here. Less than 30 seconds. Barbesi tried to come around for Osoto. As Castillo turned his back, Barbesi pursued him a little bit. He's got to be careful with that. Barbesi came to the back and his foot swept forward in front of Castillo's leg there, and that could get him into trouble. But now with just 10 seconds, Barbesi looks like he's working on a choke here, but more importantly, he's burning some time off the clock as he switches into Osai Komi, and now Yokoshiho and Castillo is just sort of laying there. And he taps out
as well.
I think if you look at that last minute and a half, there's some conditioning issues perhaps with Castillo.
Yeah, he's breathing heavy, isn't he? Barbesi will face Andreas Tulzer in the 2nd round.
So perhaps Barbesi won't have such an easy time with Newaza, who faces the big German. When he faces the big German, I should say.
We're watching the plus 100 kilo category for men. This is taking place on mat number 2. We've got action on mats 1 and 3, and that's in the under 100 kilo category.
And that was the finishing move for Babesi. Really not necessary. Didn't need it. He was just ahead, burning some time off the clock.
The next two fighters on mat number 2 in the plus 100 kilo category. Faisal Jabala of Tunisia and Roy Meyer of the Netherlands. It's Jabala in the white judogi and Meyer in blue. He's quite a character, is Roy Meyer. He's a likable, fun guy. Massive arms, huge biceps.
He doesn't look that big against a Tunisian, though.
Yeah, well, you see him in his t-shirt and he's busting out that.
No stranger to the weight room, I guess.
I'm only jealous.
Well, maybe you can consult with Mr. Myers on your weight training tech.
I think it may be a little bit late for me now.
Don't say that. You could do it. Every time you hear the big shouts there from mat number 1 for Korea is they're throwing a Korek from the Czech Republic, but only mat is a Yuko. Meantime, just a penalty right now to Meyer.
Jules Franson in the middle of that shot. Just hasn't quite come to the top of her game yet. A couple of injuries and stuff holding her up.
So Mayer's just, I think he's just having an issue mostly with Jabala's bulk at this point. Hasn't been able to figure out a way to engage those huge biceps.
Yeah, and Jabala's a big, strong guy, isn't he? I mean, I was talking about Meyer's physique. I'd say there's some, correlation between, that big size and the power that you can exert, but Jabala's just negating that. He's bigger and stronger. I'd like to see him try to move Jabala a little bit more. You really don't want to go toe-to-toe with a man that big. Try and move him a bit and test his fitness levels.
Yeah, I'm always...
Oh! If you'd only held on to him, I think you would have got the score, but I think that was more Jabala failing in the Uchimata than Roy Meyer turning him. Let's have a look. There's the Uchimata. And I don't think he's got any control over him there. He fails.
He lost his hand there.
Yeah. And
then that grip,
oh,
I would have given,
exactly. He could have claimed a score.
Yeah, I would agree with you. You're obviously not going to overpower Jabala with that bulk, but you want to go around the mountain, not through the mountain. You could work off a Hizaguruma, set up a Sasai, an Osoto if you got good positioning. Ouchis and Uchimatas would be a tough call, I think, for blue here to try to take out white. And it's in fact Jabala who aims for his own Sasai there. It appears that the The samba drums are a few tentative beats. So right now, Jabala leads Meyer with less than a minute left, just by the extra penalty.
Nervous-looking group of Dutch supporters there in that team. Birgit Enter, Anneke van Emden and Jules Fransen.
Well, Mayer's got 30 seconds to see if he can do something with the Tunisian here. This game goes to the Uchimata, but yeah, perhaps a bit more lateral movement, just getting the big guy moving. That's a little better, but now with 12 seconds left.
A little better, but a little late.
Yeah. And time runs out as Mayer tries a last-ditch Osalto, but again, you're not going to drive through that big Tunisian that way. Not unless you have some other waza that you can set it up with where you get him off balance, then you can toss that in there, but not from a static position.
Well, couldn't come up with a score. And Roy Meyer's day at the World Championships is over, but Faisal Jabala of Tunisia is into the next round.
Dr. Ricky there with a brace around his neck, a collar.
Sitting next to the world champion, Takato Naoisa. Put away 15 years of waiting for the Japanese, waiting to win the world lightweight title, and Takato was the man that did it.
Unfortunately, in Nakia's division, it was Ono who stepped up, Ono Shohei, and managed a gold there. So the Japanese had a good start, but the last 2 days, nil for the Japanese men. And the Japanese women, in fact, the last 2 days. Shenkiev had a look there.
Yeah, we've not given Shenkiev and El Shahabi the introduction that they deserve. Yerzhan Shenkiev of Kazakhstan faces Islam El Shahabi of Egypt. Shenkiev in the white judogi and El Shahabi in blue. Similar stature, El Shahabi and Jabala.
Yes.
Maybe Jabala a little bit taller and slightly more rotund.
Yes.
But, they're going to pose similar problems. El Shahabi's probably got better throwing skills, as you see there with that Yoko Sutemiwaza. Just throws himself here and then throws Shenkiev. This schoolboy kind of execution.
That's right.
You see that a lot with the youngsters, spinning around and then throwing a leg out. But this is slightly more, this is a different level, but
a bit more dynamic power involved too. These fellows are definitely not schoolboy size.
Down on mat number 3, Miles Porter of the United States of America takes to the mat against Manuel Bueno of Uruguay. And the women's plus 78 kilo category, that started down on mat number 1. Sonia Asala of Algeria faces Gulsan Isanova of Kazakhstan. Shahabi's got his head a little bit too far up there, and now he goes.
There you go, nice
much
adjustment.
safer.
Good Renakuwaza right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked kind of like an Ushiru Keisugatame. It was a little bit awkward, his body position, especially the way he was with his legs and how far down he was on the torso of Shenkievich. But nonetheless, the result is the same.
So, Shenkeev loses out to El Shahabi. The Egyptian heavyweight going into the next round, and a former Egyptian heavyweight was inducted into the Hall of Fame earlier this week, into the IJF Hall of Fame. That was Muhammad Ali Rashwan, the Olympic silver medalist from Los Angeles.
Yeah, it was nice, and it played up the sportsmanship in which he displayed at the Los Angeles Olympics.
Coming onto the mat now, Teddy Riner of France.
I think he might have a pretty good shot today. What do you think?
I think he probably has. And he faces Mukhmarod Abdurrahmanov of Tajikistan. Riner in the white judogi, Abdurrahmanov in blue. A lot of focus now on the French heavyweight. Heavily, some heavy strapping on the left wrist and hand, and I think there's some strapping on the chest as well. David McFall was mentioning that.
That was one of our members of our crack media crew. Noticed that and mentioned it to me. I took a good look. Penalty goes to blue. Renier looking a little methodical this morning. His opponent a little tentative to come to grips initially, for good reason. Now he picks up his second warning, or second penalty. Still not coming to grips here. Renier has a sleeve now, looking to come over the top.
Jason Costa of New Zealand has just thrown Jose Merlin of Ecuador for Ippon on mat number 3. Goes into the second round, where he'll face Ramadin Saidov of Uzbekistan. Slightly taller task for the Kiwi. And
now blue falls behind. Well, it's got 3 penalties with a little more than 2.5 minutes left in the match. See his reluctance in the first half of this contest of engaging with Renier.
There's a frustration on Renier's face there as Abdurrahmanov backs up, avoids taking a grip, pushes the hands away. You know, everything to avoid getting involved with Renier, who just gives a little feint with the Uchimata and then thinks about going around the back but doesn't. And here he does, and this time he'll score Yuko with that little Kosadagari.
First positive score on the board.
This is clever from Renier.
Yep.
He's just scored, doesn't have to do a great deal, and he knows that Abdurakhmanov has to. And if he doesn't do enough, there'll be another penalty, maybe both of them will get penalised, but Abdurakhmanov will do the job for Renier. This is the problem with a lot of the fighters. You can't just hand it to him.
Yep.
You know, you really have to fight him. And the Tajik hasn't.
Yeah, you cannot do just defensive judo against Teddy Renier. You gotta go toe to toe with him. And definitely in this case, nothing risked, nothing gained. If he tosses you, fine. At least you gave it your best.
Doesn't look interested, does he?
No. He just doesn't want to get thrown.
Abdurakhmanov goes the way of everyone for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Not since Tokyo in 2010, as Renier suffered a defeat.
Yep.
And only once since Beijing in 2008 has he gone down. Sol Kyung in the bottom right-hand corner of the shot. I wonder who recognized her when she walked into the stadium this morning. Not many.
Not many. Keeping a low profile despite a world title.
Next up, Alexander Vachaviak of Belarus faces Mohamed Amin Tayeb of Algeria. That's the contest on mat number 2. Remember, you've got the choice of contest. You can click on mat number 1 and see the women's plus 78 kilo category. They're sharing that mat with the men's under 100 kilo category, and we've got another group of under 100 kilo category fighters down on mat number 3. Here we're continuing to bring you the action in the plus 100 kilo category.
A bit of a smaller pool of athletes in these two upper heavyweight categories. Just 31 athletes at plus 100 and 21 athletes at plus 78. Far cry from the 70, 80 some odd that we had at 73 and 81.
Much bigger groups then. Natik Bagirov just managing to stand up and above the advertising hoardings. He's only about 5'4". He was a bit of a beast at 60 kilos though. Ooh, chance here. Couldn't bring it off. Tayev managing just to fall forward when he felt that Vachaviak could pick him up. Ended up not attempting the throw. Oops. Another one just deciding to feel the material.
Dangerous, dangerous. Warning, warning.
That's nice. It's the second time that I've seen them let it go, and I think that's quite right. Those instances.
As long as he didn't use it for.
Just the briefest of touches there, and glad they let that one go.
Slow motion Susai there by White.
I'll say Armenteros of Cuba has just defeated Victor Resko of Latvia down on mat number 3. Not sure why they've decided to divide up the plus 78 kilo category. They'll put another pool down there. There's only 21 of them. They could have run that on one mat.
But they could have done that.
But because they're running it on 2, it's not going to be long before they spin back round, is it?
No.
Okay.
In the center ring here, we have the heavyweights.
Still slugging it out. Alexander Vakaviak of Belarus leads by Wazari. And, Amin Mohamed Tayeb has 2 minutes in which to find a score.
It's a good effort there. That might get Yuko. And it does. He's found a score, just not quite the one he was looking for. Even if he had gotten the Wazari, he's still behind by a penalty. Big old Soto here, Soto Makikomi. White looks for his own version of Soto Makikomi. Slips off the arm. Now with less than a minute, White leads blue. The Wazari score, in addition to Tayeb has a penalty here. But he's got the Yuko, so if he can manage to get a Wazari, he would pull ahead. And now penalty apiece. Honing in on half a minute. See if the Algerian has anything left in the tank here. Give it one last ditch. And he almost does it. He was looking for that Sasai there. Had a look at it, just didn't finish turning his opponent over. Appears that Vakaviak is going to take this one.
Did you see Ono Takashi
I did not.
in his first round match?
I missed that.
So did I. That was down on mat number 1, I think it was, but that came and went. Anyway.
I assume it was a quick ippon because I didn't even see it on the run here.
He's due up soon against Ramadan Darwish of Egypt. That's Ono Takashi. He'll be up shortly. Before that, David Alazar of Spain faces Shah Hussein. But the contest going on at the moment on mat number 1 is Elkan Mammadov of Azerbaijan, and he faces Or Sasson of Israel, one of those man mountains I was telling you about from the under 100 kilo category. The Israelis leading, by the way, by 2 Yukos with a little under 3 minutes to go. So Vachaviak it is who overcomes Tayeb, and Vachaviak will face Teddy Riner in the second round.
Somehow I think he's going to have a little more difficulty pulling that Ol Soto Makikomi against Teddy Riner.
Let's see if he tries it. Right, on mat number 2 now, Oscar Brayson of Cuba faces Luis Salazar of Colombia. We will shortly begin our jump around the mat. So some of the other mats throw up some interesting matches. Henk Grol and Shim Ji-ho of Korea, South Korea. That looks like a good one. Elmar Gazimov of Azerbaijan and Artem Blashenko of the Ukraine. That's on there as well. And Cho Guam of South Korea and Alexander Michalin of Russia. That looks like a good contest.
Right,
mind you, that's back here on mat number 2. Philip Awita Alcaraz of Great Britain faces Martin Pacek of Sweden. I know he's a favourite for many people. When I say favourite, he's well liked, Martin Pacek.
Well, I think the reason we missed it would appear that Ono got a bye in the first round. That's right. Did he know?
Ono's first fight ended after 2 minutes and 7 seconds by Ippon and a Yuko. That's what happened in Ono's first fight.
Brayson now leads by Waza Adi. Getting Uchimata Makikomi there. Looking for a side komi, didn't quite get it.
Elmar Gazimov has pulled ahead now. Sorry, Elkan Mammadov has pulled ahead.
Brayson again looked for a big Sasai right there.
Pulled ahead of Or Sasson down at mat number 1 in the under 100 kilo category. He was trailing by 2 Yukos and has just thrown Sasson for Wazari.
Salazar picks up his second penalty. He was looking for a big Ol Soto there. Brayson just moves his leg out of the way. Colombian trying to get things going. Meantime, Brayson trying to move it.
And the number 1 seed in the under 100 kilo category, Elkan Mammadov, has just had Or Sasson tap out there for that Shimiwaza down on mat number 1. So the Azeri through to the 3rd round. There's the number 1 seed. There goes the big Makikomi again from Oscar Brayson.
Does a good job dispatching Salazar from Colombia. So Tolzer looks good, Ranier looks good, Brayson looks good. Check, check, check.
We haven't seen Silva yet. He was the only one to get a bye. The 1 seed getting a bye. It'll keep him happy, won't it? Wrapped him up nicely there. Right, for the first time then today, let's go down to mat number 1. And we're going to see the contest between David Al-Azhar of Spain and Shah Hussain of Pakistan. It's David Al-Azhar in the white judo gi, Shah Hussain in blue. Al-Azhar fighting up at 100 kilos now, having spent most of his career as an under 90 kilo category competitor.
Good lateral movement there.
Just to let you know that Daniel Allerstorfer of Germany just threw Ulzibaya Durenbaya of Mongolia within about 8 seconds.
Still looking for grip there. Hussain takes a look there at Osoto and then switches over to Sai for a little bit there. It's a little bit stiff there when he was trying to work between those two throws.
There's no need for your Apple. We record all the fights and put them online. So I'm not sure why you would want to bring your mobile phone to try and record it. You're quite welcome.
Mention the Judo Portal channel there on YouTube.
Yeah, you're quite welcome to all the footage you want, including this contest. I'll have to have a word with him when I see him next. Missed with that. Oh, attempted shimiwaza. Shah now with a chance.
Was it called mate? What that was all about. It was quick.
I'd have liked to have seen that go onto the ground there.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick call, mate.
I think because he had the shimiwaza against the chin, they called the mate. So Al-Azhar needs to go now, and he does. Oh, that was too soft.
Yeah. It's a waza-ari for that.
You've got to put up a better resistance than that, especially when it's so slow, so deliberate. You need telegraph that. And Hussain couldn't get off it. He manages to escape from the Osai Komi.
But Al-Azhar is not finished yet. And he gets into a better position here.
He's in it again, and it's stronger this time.
Yep, Yoko Shiho. It's unfortunate that Hussain had that collar on the chin, because I think he was in good shape for Osai Komi.
Would have been his shot.
That call still a bit quick for my liking, but...
Well, I mean, I can see why he did it. If it was across the chin, he would have had to have called mate.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a question of he didn't give them enough time on the ground. You know, Hussain was attempting to apply the shimiwaza. It was across the chin. That's mate. So
there's the Tomoe Nage. Hussain gets his hand out, but kind of collapses there. You usually see that hand out there, and then you would spin off a little bit of a handspring.
Coming onto the mat next, Ramadan Darwish of Egypt, and he faces the unenviable task of Ono Takashi of Japan. Here's David McFall, and he's going to be joined by Dave Brown.
See the patience of Ono there. Just looking, trying to get his grip. Darvish tries to roll in there for Uchimata for a second. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Very good.
Excellent. How's Rio de Janeiro treating you?
Very nice.
Yes, yes. A little bit warmer. I mean, it was cool the other day. Look at this nice Uchimata attempt there by Darvish.
Right.
So Ono got a little morning sickness, I think. He's got to wake up.
Well,
Suzuki Keiji there in the...
I think everything's sort of gone to form, so we're starting to get to a fight now which could go either way, you know, but the earlier ones have been pretty obvious that we're well, reasonably obvious.
Right,
yeah.
right. Ono escapes that attack. And he's going to get
penalized.
City. Yeah. Didn't look particularly appealing, but let's see now as keeps the grips here. It's Darvish.
Doing it one-handed.
Yeah, on that one-handed judo. The only throw I've been able to pull off one-handed is a Tai Toshi, and even that not very well.
No.
I'd say Ono looks a little frustrated with the gripping situation.
Yeah, Darvish is taking to it a bit.
Yeah, as he should. I mean,
well, yeah, you're not going
to give it.
Well, the other thing is that the Japanese tend to like to settle, especially the heavier weights. They like to get in there, get their grip they're comfortable with, and then attack. And if you can disrupt that a little,
yeah, break the rhythm.
Yep. Starting to come in a bit now, so
yeah, it's kind of strange to me to see Suzuki Keiji in that chair, and he's let his hair grow out a little bit. He usually had that buzz cut, and then he's got this
a little bit of grey too.
Yeah. He looks quite mature.
Yes, all of a sudden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at this. Darvish almost pulls a slow rolling Tomoe-nage, but we saw two of those this morning, but I don't think he's going to pull that off against Ono. That and these guys are under 100s, and we were seeing that from the 100+ category.
Yeah.
Ono comes in for.
You might know. Has Ono always been under 100?
As far as I can recall.
Right, okay.
Probably.
There we go.
That's better.
Get a Yuko out of that, yes. Yeah. Should have held the hold, or kept the hold.
Yeah.
But
The end, he's pulling the sleeve here. A bit more sleeve pull. Darvish did a good job with that hop of getting his legs toward the outside to minimize the rotation.
And restrict it to a Yuko only,
It's a good entry by Ono.
Cool.
Darvish had a chance there getting Ono up on his hip.
Yeah, but then let it go.
Let it go.
Didn't feel comfortable.
Ono, one of the senior members of the team at 33 years old, coming out of Scuba University.
And, there's not many in the Japanese team who last to that age.
No. So it could well be that he fought at under 90 and
I
then
have
moved
a feeling.
up.
I have a feeling. I don't, but
Yeah.
I'm not 100%. So you look at this. He doesn't look that big, and
Let me see if I can.
that's okay. I mean, Darwish there with a half-hearted Uchimata attempt, keeping himself away from the penalty zone, but he's not. Doesn't seem to be getting close to throwing Ono.
It's the 2005 Worlds in Cairo. Ono earned a bronze medal at 81 kilograms.
81,
Yes.
and then he's moved presumably to 90.
And he earned a bronze in 2011 in Paris at 90 kilos.
Right.
So,
Yeah, so he's been moving up the.
yeah, well,
scale.
33 years old, you know? It's a little bit harder to gain weight.
Yeah. To lose it.
Good call there, David.
Yeah, no, I had a feeling that I'd seen him in the lower weights. It's an interesting progression for a team that has so much depth to it, you know.
That's right. Well, it looks like up till 2008, he was fighting at 81 kilograms.
Right. And of course, we talked about Suzuki, and he used to oscillate between under and over 100.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and not only that, but he was in the open as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, so he's got through that fight. It's presumably his first round fight, I believe, wasn't it?
That's his second round fight.
Second
actually.
round?
Actually.
Right. Oh, that's right. He had the Australian at first.
That's right.
That the guy was doing all the face slapping.
Something along those lines, yes.
Did you see that fight?
I did not see that
Okay.
fight. We focused pretty heavily on the heavyweights
Right.
for the beginning part of the morning.
Yeah. The Australian came out with a plan to disrupt, but it didn't involve taking grips.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So a little patty cake.
Yes.
Yeah. They may slip back to the heavyweights as they get to this. Well, we've got the first round fight of Silva coming up again a little bit, and I think we'll probably go back there. But let's take a look here at the British fighter. And would
Now,
you like to
have
try
a go
this
at
name?
that. You have a go at that.
I'm sitting there with the British fighter going, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake.
Yes.
Witial Caraz would be my best guess.
Witial Caraz.
Okay. He's going to be up against Patrick from Sweden.
I noticed that on his gi back name, it's only Caraz, I think.
I see. Well, that would make things a bit easier.
Yeah. Oh, he's
That's
going to
a
go
nice,
down.
nice job with the
Beautiful
Swedish.
Rosari, yes.
Really nice Ochi
Yeah.
there. Came through. Still trying. He's got the Tate Shio position, but didn't make much of an effort of trying to get that leg out of there. There it is.
Yep.
Really nice. Just a little bit more tidying up in that arm there. Maybe he could have got more rotation, but
There was more timing and leg, wasn't it?
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Just caught him.
Nevertheless, nice throw. Gets him a Wazari and puts him in the lead in the fight.
That's right.
And as we're now saying, by a positive score.
A positive score. Let's see what the lead there, what Caraz has left there. good idea.
Not a
Not a great execution, but good idea.
He's doing enough to keep himself away from the penalty zone, which is the first objective.
That's right. That's right.
Second objective, he's got to get that Wazari back.
A bit on the taller order, I would say.
Okay, here we go.
That's a good idea. Though. He came over the back there and a little bit of a look at his own.
But look at
slow.
The Swedish guy doesn't look bothered. Look at his posture. He's there and he's hipping it out. You know, he's got nothing much to be worried about at this stage that he can see.
Yeah, he's not exactly sweating it at this point. And I like that fact he's not running away either.
No.
Of course, there's plenty of time left in the contest.
That's right,
like
exactly. You can't shut down.
That's good, very good.
There we go.
Yeah, and it's countered. Yes, he does.
Yep.
Good entry, good idea, good movement, good lateral movement, but didn't really do much with the upper body, so he came over the leg with that movement and just got slammed.
Yep. But he knew he had to do something.
I'll tell you what, Silva is coming up soon, followed by Kimber and then Tolzer. So let's switch over to mat number 2 after we get the highlights. We get the highlights here, we'll switch over to mat number 2. A second look at that Oichi Black Pachek and then the counter. This is the counter here.
Yeah, beautiful counter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a good idea by Karaz coming in, and the timing was good, but his hand slips out there. It's Sudite slips out, and then he doesn't have any leverage.
And of course now we're going to mat 2, where we've got the Australian versus a Mexican, so a little bit of Oceania interest for me here.
There you go. I know you're from New Zealand, but any insight on Andre Wartha?
He's been around for a little while. The heavyweight category, it's fair to say, in Oceania is not that strong, and so he does figure up there. But I know in the team fight that we had to settle who comes here between Australia and New Zealand, he was beaten by Jason Costa, who's our under 100 fighter, who just won before against Ecuador. So.
One of our members of our tech squad, we were talking a little bit today. You know, you look at other sports like rugby, for example, and the Samoans and all these Pacific Islanders sport really good teams with powerful athletes.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, why are those athletes involved in judo, or why are we not getting the judo cut from them, or why are they not able to apply those kind of skill sets to judo?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, you have to say to some kid who's playing beach volleyball, get off the beach, come inside this tin shed, put the thick judo gi on, and do this sport. It's counterintuitive.
Right.
The second thing is that those sports, rugby as a professional sport represents a way out of, or a way of making money, and off the islands for a while. And you find a lot of Samoans are in France and Great Britain playing rugby because that's where there is an established pathway in terms of revenue streams.
Sure,
you know?
even
so,
Japan.
Yeah, Japan as well. Yeah, so exactly. You know, and it's interesting. I find the Japanese thing interesting because rugby is not that popular from a spectator point of view, but there seems to be a very strong competition base.
Well, there's a core audience of rugby fanatics in Japan, and there we go. And there we go. So the Australian goes through.
Goes through, yes.
A nice also Tamaki Komi.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we're in Oceania trying to work on because you're right about the kind of muscular, low center of gravity nature of their bodies makes them good judo players.
Especially in these divisions.
That's right.
These are the divisions where you figure that they would really prosper, you know.
Well, while we're waiting for this, of course, New Zealand has a woman called Valerie Adams, who is the twice Olympic shot put champion and 4 times world champion. And I've been talking to her about doing a bit of crossover.
Yeah.
Because I'm 6'1", and when I talk to her, I have to look upwards. And she is a massive woman, but already with an established winning program in a different sport. So to convert her would be amazing.
Well, here we have the first match for Silva, who is rated #1 here.
Yeah. It's interesting because you look at Teddy Riner and you think, oh, he must be #1. But this guy, the Brazilians travel a lot. They go to a lot, so he picks up a lot of points around the competition. He's got the Kyrgyzstan, who did a very nice sort of Sasai Hizaguruma to win his first fight. It was a very nice technique.
Yeah, when we were watching that first match, you know, his build is slightly in the, let's just say, portly Muneta mold. And the thing is, his judo kind of looks like that with Sasai and things like that. You know, he's able to move pretty well, and he's, for the most part, at least in that first match, was going toe-to-toe with the bigger guys.
Yeah.
So this one, it looks like his hips are a little bit farther out there.
A little bit lower too.
Yeah.
And so these little round guys, sometimes hard to get.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember I was at the All Japans this year, and the thing that struck me is the breadth of Muneta's hips. And these guys could get in there and do a throw, but they could never rotate his hips around.
Right. So
You
he's
know?
still fighting.
Yeah, he was in the All Japans this year.
Right.
Yeah. That's, you know, the thing is he's got the world title.
Yeah.
He's never won the All Japans.
No.
He never
okay.
won the Open All Japans.
He's a very interesting guy to referee because he wants the fight at his momentum, and he'll stop and say, I want to undo my belt. And I have to say, no, keep fighting. You know, like he tries to control the whole process. He's very good at it.
Well, let's put it this way. He's notorious for the dropped contact lens.
Oh, right.
And I mean, notorious is the word. Infamous might be another adjective I might use.
And he doesn't wear contacts?
Well, let's put it this way. Usually it's about 3 minutes into the match when he's pretty gassed.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I used to love watching him fight. And he reminded me of, in my time, when Endo was a fighter, you know, who had that same thing, a very good economy of movement, but he'd get great throws at it.
Right,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, the technical
Yeah.
skills of Muneta really blew me away. And his timing, there are lots of subtleties to his judo.
But there's not a lot of movement in it, you know, and he picks up a quick foot sweep, bang, and he's gone. You know, the opponent's
that's what
gone.
these little subtleties. I mean, there's speed there, but again, there's probably a master of Kazushi, really.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah.
But I think the other thing is, you know, these domestic competitions have been there so long, the other guy's got his number. They know what to expect. That said, I think he made to the quarters this year.
Yep, there we
And
go.
Silva
That
goes-
should pick up an Ippon for him, I think.
Release the Wazadi. And we're looking, by the way, at a nice core judo audience this morning.
Well, it's Saturday in Rio.
That's right. That's right.
So maybe a few of them have got more time off.
It's been picking up through the week. Yesterday was pretty good, and so Silva gets to his first round. Ippon.
High expectations on him here.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're looking for a medal. They want him at the top of the podium. They really do. Mendez didn't quite do it. Rafaela Silva did, and they really, really want a gold medal here from Rafael Silva. This place will just erupt if that happens.
Well, I guess he'll have to beat Teddy to do that.
That he will. That he will.
So where do they stand in the draw? They're well apart, one and two seeds.
Yeah.
They're seeded to meet.
Silva is actually in the tougher pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but here we have Shichinohe Ryu versus Kim Soo-won. So Shichinohe looked good in that first fight. He didn't have what I would say the most difficult of opponents, and that's no slight. But he got an Uchimata, but the Uchimata, and he turns in there. But it was, sloppy's not a good word, but there was a bit too much distance. The torso is really, really parallel. Not as crisp as we would like to see from him.
Yeah. The Japanese seem to be switching around with their heavyweights a little.
Yeah. Well, I think that Shichinohe is they've been, you know, the Olympics, things like that. They've really invested a lot in him. And the cameraman is blocking, but I'm almost positive that he's got Suzuki Keiji.
Oh, here we go. Look at that. Beautiful ippon.
And he takes out Kim with Osodo. That's right. So we have two fights, two different techniques, two ippons. Shichinohe is in the groove.
The next fight up here is Tulsa from Germany against Bibis from Cameroon.
And in fact, you can see him over there. Shichinohe comes off the tatami. It is Suzuki Keiji who's in his corner. So we have not seen, in fact, Inoue Kosei in the coach's chair, I think, yet this competition.
Normally he doesn't. Normally he's standing behind around somewhere. So he
delegates the authority to.
Yes, but he's not with. He's usually not sitting in the stands. He's in the background of the, and leaves him to it, which is good if he.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed sometimes when you have fighters out here, and you've got a coach in the chair, then you have 3 or 4 other people quite nearby in the background, all yelling instructions.
Right.
Now, how's that going to work?
Well, we have now the second round match for Andreas Tolzer, and he's going to go against Joseph Babezi of Cameroon. Tolzer took care of Padar there in the first round.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that fight. I saw this fight here with Cameroon, I think, and another African country. I forget which one it was. But
Tolzer opened up with some newaza and almost caught Padar right off the top. Of course, he's known for that. But then Padar just, I don't know.
Here we go.
There we go.
It'll be a
Yuka, maybe?
Well, it was already because of the landing, but there wasn't much force in that at all, was it?
Babezi finds himself in the wrong end of Tolzer and newaza, and this is not where you want to be. Tolzer didn't have to use his patented turnover here at all. Babezi's a big, strong guy, but I have my doubts that he's going to take care of Tolzer. So the top seeds here in the heavyweights, they're all really doing well here. Shichinohe, Tolzer, Silva.
So just going back to your comment about the All Japans, do they use, what rules do they use? The new IGF rules or a little bit of a...
Well, the new rules I don't think they did because at that time they were still in the provisional stage.
Right.
So
when were they held, All Japans?
The All Japans are held, it's in the late spring. Let's see if I can pull that up on the calendar. Yeah, it's actually, the All Japans are just when the cherry blossoms are coming out.
Yeah.
It's quite lovely to go down to the Budokan and check that out.
So make it, what, March, April area?
Something like that.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So they've had it this year?
Yes.
Yeah. It's something I've never been to.
Oh, this past year it was held on April 29th.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's always on the Monday of a 3-day holiday there in April.
Maybe I can get a gig as a guest referee or something. I don't think so. I think it's very exclusive.
It's a rather exclusive club.
Yeah.
But actually, if you show up early in the morning for ticketing, I had a special guest, and actually I was the first person in line. And you can get some good tickets despite the number of VIPs that.
And just distracted a little because we have from New Zealand Costa and a second round match against Uzbekistan, but he's just been thrown for Ippon. So at least a first round win for the New Zealander, which is not that common.
Meantime, we have Jabala versus El Shihabi. So these guys are very similar in builds and height and things like that.
But I think El Shihabi is a far more experienced fighter. You just, I would pick him over in this one. You might want to get your caipirinha back. Not everyone listening out there, not that I've got it.
Well, I was always waiting for a double or nothing kind of situation here. I figured all bets will be settled up on Sunday evening.
Okay, righto.
At a tavern of your choice. Unless, of course,
that was a nice attack from Jabala.
That was a good look there.
Yeah.
By the Tunisian.
So we have our North African fight-off.
Yes. North African duo.
That's what happens to these things. People come a long way to fight their neighbor.
That's right, exactly. Well, it's you know, as they say, the luck of the draw, right? Yeah. The unluck or the luck of the draw.
Oops, he's complaining about something. I don't know what that is. He's saying he should get a penalty too.
You hear a little bit of noise in the auditorium. There's a lot of support for Korea on mat number 1. And you're free to choose any of the 3 mats. We're going to comment from 1. The reason we've been focusing on mat number 2 is because the heavyweights are there kind of exclusively, and we want to see, you know, who's going to pull up there. But we'll probably zoom into mat number 1, mat number 3, perhaps maybe when the Rainier match is finished. If we don't go to Oxford Brazen, we might look at mat number 3 and check out some of the plus 78 ladies.
Righto.
But right now we have no positive scores. We have a penalty apiece.
And the Egyptian's complaining about something about his grip, his opponent's grip.
He's not liking it.
No. And
and he's the one who gets.
Yeah. Well. Oh. Right. Don't look at your coach. Look at your opponent.
Look at his coach. He never even paid attention. They said Hajime, and Jabala just came up and just absolutely flattened him.
Thank God you didn't take that bet.
Well, you know, that's actually a bit dangerous because, I mean, El Shabali should have been paying more close attention, but he could have hit the back of his head and had a situation like we had with Nakaya.
There's no doubt. He's the one who's playing these little games.
That's
and
right.
He needs to keep an eye on his opponent.
So an all-even match up until the Egyptian decided, he just never.
He was still focusing on his coach or somewhere,
right.
Or looking.
He's not even looking away. And look at the Tunisian walks up.
No, you know what he's doing?
Hey, we're going to do judo.
You know what he's doing? He's looking at the
referees. Yeah, the referee table. Didn't like the call.
Here we go. He gets it. He's looking over there. Hajime's called.
Hey.
Focus.
Yes. He's still looking at the referee's table. So he lets a small penalty get under his skin, and then just gives up the whole match. Let's see what Renier has for us in his second round against Bakahaviak from Belarus. So in the first round, Renier's opponent didn't even bother really to engage. We'll see if the Belarusian does a better job, at least, of getting Teddy to sweat a bit here. Oh, and that was nice. A little look at Sasai there. For Bakahaviak. He comes around the belt there. Doesn't get it there. And Renier just flattens him with Osalto. But he drops on his butt instead of his back.
They were still in the tatami, or one of them was. There's no need to call that mate. I think it might be reviewed here. Did the mate influence the throw? See, the throw was underway as the referee was calling it.
It might have.
No, the opinion was that the mate influenced the blue player's action.
I see.
No, he stopped.
Right, and allowed Renier to
exactly.
To drop him.
Sometimes if it's the call is simultaneous with the action, where you can absolutely guarantee that there was no influence, then it can be given. Here we go.
There we go. So Renier dispatches him nonetheless, this time in the middle of the tatami.
Yes.
There was no doubt.
Technique.
That's right.
Almost like a plaything.
That's right.
If we were to highlight of this, it's just...
it's almost a carbon copy of what we saw on the edge of the tatami.
Yeah, it was.
Just uses all that leverage.
And it's good enough that he doesn't even have to follow down to the ground.
And normally I would be, why is he not, doing the transition work? But in this case, it really wasn't necessary.
No.
So maybe we'll hang around just for Brayson, and then we'll slip down to mat number 3.
Well, we've got a few coming through with because Silver's back on. Mikhailin is there. He's got the Australian. So
maybe we could switch down to Tachimoto versus Kong, and then Lee versus Shekarova, and then slip back up to the heavyweights.
Right. Oscar Brayson from Cuba has been around a fair while.
That's right. That's right.
He's always there or thereabouts in the sort of Grand Prix Grand Slam arena.
Yeah, he's always sort of hanging out for the big competitions, right? And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the name of his opponent here, Daniel Autostorfer from Austria. So no penalties yet, no big scores. Grayson looking there for a big makikomi.
Yeah, without a grip.
That's certainly the hard way to do it. Little air judo.
Because they're holding hands there. At least they've got grips now, so we'll see what happens.
Yo!
Great, what do you get for that? You got a Yuko, I would have thought more.
Well, now he's got a Saikomi here. Nice Yoko Shiho.
Of course, if it was Ari's called, you only need to do your 15 seconds.
That's
and
right.
hold down, so
that's right.
Makes a little difference.
I myself still prefer the old school 30-second rule.
Come on, get with the times. If you don't get out in the first 10 seconds, you've probably got no show.
Most likely, but probably one of the more heroic displays. I saw Suzuki Keiji get out of Keisugatame at about the 26-second mark against Ishii in the All Japans.
Of course, there'll always be an exception.
And he did it. To get out of it, he broke his own
Here's
nose.
the foot sweep. Look at that.
Yeah.
See, for me, it was a bit better than a Yuko.
Better than a Yuko. Didn't matter.
No.
All right. Now that we saw the highlights, we're going to go over to mat number 3. And they're just cleaning up the fight there between Slutskia of Belarus versus Klubs from Germany. But we're going to hang it in here for Tachimoto Megumi from Japan versus Kang Jie of China. And I think this is our first look this morning at the plus 78s.
Is it?
I think so, yeah. So, like Sugimoto before, Tachimoto is a little bit short. As she works at Haraigoshi there. That's the one knock I think against the women's heavyweights for Japan, is they seem to be a bit short in stature.
Yes.
And they lose that leverage.
Yeah, like there, she can't get a leg any further.
That's right. So,
oh, here we go.
There we go. Yeah, Tachimoto and Sugimoto are a bit shorter. Tsukuda was a little bit taller than the two of them.
Yeah, this seems to be the body type for the Asian plus 78s.
And just like Sugimoto and Tsukuda, Tachimoto also comes from Tokai, so they just keep breeding these, or at least recruiting these women heavyweights. But you know, I mean, Japanese field a pretty fairly tall women's volleyball team. It's not that there are no tall women in Japan.
No.
They just don't seem to be able to attract them to judo thus far.
That's right. Right, volleyball's a good example.
Of course, the general build of those women is a little bit more svelte. Yes. Yes. So we have no score here. First minute and a half is burned away. Tachimoto versus Kang. Tachimoto had a couple looks there.
But they're having a go.
Yeah, they're definitely pulling the trigger on a couple of these throws here.
Well, a little static at this time.
Yeah.
You might see Blue picking up a penalty here. Maybe not.
They might both pick up a penalty. Nope.
After White just did an attack.
And of course, as soon as we pulled away from that two, the Georgian Okarushvili pulls a big Uranage.
And the Japanese fighters just picked up a Wazari. And they'll be working on the ground for the hold.
Yep. Got a good position for Yoko Shiho. He's got her foot in there.
Yeah, she's going to get it out.
Going to get it out.
Yeah. Isakomi's pulled. Looks like a good one as well.
Let me see here. Waza Adi, Yoko Shiho. Where have I heard that before? And actually, she switched over to Kami Shiho now.
Yep.
So she heard me and decided she wanted to do a little different Osai Komi.
Yep.
So Tachimoto takes care of Kang Jie.
Might be nice to stick here and see that the next plus 78, and then look at Grohl in the minus 100.
Well, I'd be interested in Grohl, but it's hard to look away when the next match, not this one, but the one after it, 100 plus, is Silva versus Shichinohe.
Yeah, sure. That's right.
And then two fights from that is going to be Rainier versus Grayson.
So we'll go there. That's the best place to be. But at the moment, of course, we've got McKylan versus the Australian Jake Andriwasa.
And we're really not trying to give short shrift here to get under 100 kilos, but we have some better, or at least more interesting paper fights happening, especially at plus 100.
Yep.
Again, you can tune into, we have 4 channels, Matt's 1, 2, 3, plus the commentary channel. So you have your choice. Well, if I was at home, occasionally I wish I had 3 or 4 monitors.
A friend of mine said he couldn't pick up the feed in Japan.
Yes, I think it's because of a television rights issue.
Right, okay. So I keep telling him it's on.
Yes.
And he couldn't seem to find it.
I'm wondering whether they could possibly pick up the replays on the Judo portal on YouTube.
Right, yeah.
But the live matches, those rights are
Yeah.
probably either Fuji Telebi or
Yeah.
Nihon Telebi.
Yeah.
They've got exclusive rights to this. And it's pretty much only the Worlds and the Olympics and then the Tokyo Grand Slam. All the other major tournaments, competitions you can pick up, I think, on Ippon TV in Japan. So with the first minute gone, no score yet, though Shekarova looked like she had a chance there.
Well, as suggested, McKylan picks up an Ippon against the Australian.
And while this match is just getting underway, we're going to switch over to mat number 2. Because Silva is coming up against Shichinohe. And this is going to be a pivotal match for either one of these players. Somebody is not going to make the medal round.
Yes.
And this is a good test to see whether Shichinohe has really stepped up. He's had some relatively easy opponents up to this point. And he showed some good judo with an Uchimata and an Osotogari. And now he faces the formidable Rafael Silva.
Yeah, it could be speed and technique versus weight and power.
That's right. That's a good call there. Silva taking a look there at Uchimata for a minute. Shits for a second. See, he's got that that Sudite just jammed up against Shichinohe's collar.
I don't think the Japanese fighter can fight it this way.
No.
He can't let Silva settle.
He's got to, he's got to get moving.
Yeah.
And he was doing that in the first fights. He's got to move laterally and get Silva off balance. And then he can come in with perhaps, he likes Osotogari. I mean, that's pretty much Shichinohe's bread and butter throw. But he's not going to do it from a static position.
No. He's got to get him moving.
Not for someone the size of Silva.
Anyhow, he's trying to take it to him. He seems to be pushing him back a bit too, so let's be careful he's not penalized for pushing out.
He's got to show a few more attacks here. He's moving forward. He's just got to.
Yeah.
He's got to show a little bit of intent here.
I mean, Silva is a kind of player that wants to settle as well.
Right.
So you can make him look bad. A little hit and run.
Yep. But you've got to do something. You've got to at least a little Ashiwaza.
Yeah, both get penalized for one arm or one-handed grip. Here he goes, the Osoto.
Yep.
But look, the upper body's nowhere near in a position to do that. He has to get some sort of reaction first.
Exactly. Well, again, he's got to do a feint or two and sell it. And get Silva moving a little bit. And then when he develops the Kazushi, I mean, this is all very basic judo. But when you're talking about someone the size of Silva, you're not going to, you might be able to catch him with quickness, but you're not going to catch him just by trying to overpower him from a static position. Silva himself has a bit of a look there at Osoto, but decides against it. Already halfway through this match.
Here we go.
Beautiful.
That's the first one he's actually had a go.
That's right.
Whole fight.
That's the first technique Silva went for.
And he got it beautifully.
And he got the Makikomi there, Osoto Makikomi. And Chichile's got it. I mean, he's going to be looking back going, why wasn't I moving?
Yeah.
You've got to move this guy around. Right? Again, you can make Silva look bad if you move and you stay active. But he didn't do that. And I mean, this is the problem also Shichinohe has had against Teddy Raniere. He's static against these guys who are bigger than him.
And you can't do it.
And you can't do it.
Because they'll outpower you. Look at this beautiful entry.
Boom.
Yeah, nice and close and tight.
And just as he's getting caught, you could see the grimace on Chichinohe's face. You can't really see it at this angle. Maybe you can catch it. No, you're not going to catch it, but he knew as soon as that arm came over that he had no chance. What we're going to do now is we are going to have Sheldon return, and he's going to comment with Dave Brown. But some exciting matches thus far.
Well, the very least that can be said for Shichinohe is that he went for it. There was a moment there when Silva attacked, and Shichinohe went for the counter, but he wasn't strong enough, and Silva took him over. But the very least that can be said is that he did go for it. That wasn't a bad little contest. So Okarashvili had a close call. It was Ari down against the pole, and then came back to bang him, and looked pretty good doing it. But Silva is on his way. Andreas Turzer of Germany trying to work again on the ground, this time against Faisal Jabala. He's turned his man into Osai Komi, but
Yeah, he's going to get it.
Yeah. Decided to just change that. It wasn't that strong, and now he's in Kamisho Gatami, or Kazuri Kamisho Gatami, and it looks a little bit better.
And once he's got you don't normally get out.
Yep. The big fella does it again.
Yep.
He's working it.
Yep. It'd be interesting to know what his statistics are around throws versus holdouts in terms of wins.
Tulsa, yeah.
That he would be.
Yeah.
It'd be a fair ratio.
Yeah, yeah. Especially because we mention it so often.
Yeah.
But it's got to be a big factor, hasn't it? I said at the beginning of the program that there wasn't a Chinese heavyweight. My mistake. Kang Ji was the heavyweight for the Chinese, and she lost out to Tachimoto Megumi of Japan down on mat number 3. And we come now to the next contest on mat 2, and they're coming around thick and fast, aren't they? I mean, Rinne was hardly out of the corridor, back round, and he's on mat 2 again. Here he is, Teddy Rinne and Oscar Brayson, and I'm happy to be joined, or I'm happy to join Dave Brown. He was in the seat before me, so I'm happy to join you, Dave.
Rejoin.
Yes, yeah.
So far, Rinne has looked his usual self, doing what he needs to get through. Not a lot else, just cruising.
Yeah, again, it's who's going to push him?
Yeah.
I mean, how fast would Usain Bolt run if there wasn't someone chasing him down? If they were all taking 20 seconds to run, why would you run in 9? You need somebody to push you. And in his first fight, I just didn't feel as though Abdurakhmanov was going to offer up anything.
Yeah.
Poor old Bakhaviat got tossed around like a baby.
Yeah.
And
I didn't want to go that crawl, but you're right.
He looked like a wet leaf, didn't he?
Yes,
Just
he did.
flopped.
Yeah. We're commenting on the fact that Rinne didn't even follow up going to the ground. Why would I bother?
Yeah.
I have to get up again.
Hopefully, Brayson will offer up something more than a stiff arm. Everybody wants to, it's a fighting sport, and that's what people have come here to see. They've come to see a fight. There are rules, but let's see a fight.
Yeah, well, they've both been given a warning there, penalty, so Rinne looks to be a little bit more active, or trying to be. Come in with that Osoto shortly, I believe. He's just setting up for it. You can sort of almost sense it, can't you?
So that Jabala won the battle of the North Africans.
Yes. Did you see that?
I didn't actually, no.
Well, you had a situation where, who was it? The Egyptian guy, El Shahabi.
El Shahabi, yeah.
He was complaining about something and looking at the referees on the side. The referee in the middle called Hajime, the guy from Tunisia, came over and threw him.
Oh, his head somewhere else.
It was. I don't know why he didn't, like he was grumpy the whole fight.
Yeah, he gets like that,
Right.
and big
But
disappointment.
you can't lose sight of looking at what your opponent's about to do.
Mr. Rinne.
Yeah, I'd call him that. Yeah, here we go. There's more hands than legs.
Brayson unable to cope with the world an Olympic champion, Teddy Riner.
With the power. Timing and power. Let's not forget, he is quite a technician.
Well, he's been showing that whenever he's asked. If he's asked,
no, when he needs to.
Yes. Then
it's
he,
like Usain Bolt. Your analogy there.
Yeah.
Runs faster when he has to. Yeah. And you watch this. You watch this throw in the highlights. Here we go. See, the Osotogari leg was just there. It wasn't driving.
Yeah, it didn't.
It was the power and the action at the top that got him there. Oh, maybe I'm. Yeah, no, I still believe that. The power from the top.
No, I agree with you. You never see him really use the leg. It's there. He's going over anyway, and he puts him over with the upper body. Nothing wrong with that. Right, Adam Okroashvili of Georgia faces Alexander Mikhailin of Russia. It's the Georgian in the white judogi and the Russian in blue. The winner of this will face Teddy Riner in the second of the semi-finals. The first semi-final is Rafael Silva against Andreas Tölzer. We'll see Chichinoe, Jabala, Brayson in the repechage. But
so it's the usual suspects.
The big money is Silva, Tölzer, Riner, and whoever emerges from this contest.
Mikhailin's complaining about something.
Both fighters pick up
their negative scores.
Penalties, yeah. You know, what makes me laugh is that Okroashvili doesn't normally get involved in that patter cake.
Yeah.
But the minute he comes up against Mikhailin, he falls into that trap.
Yeah, right.
It's not him. He likes to get his hands on. He doesn't mind somebody gripping him up, and he finds a way round it. With Mikhailin, he just seems to think this is the way to do it.
Yeah. Well, Mikhailin's always been a bit of a yeah.
It's so unattractive.
See, Mikhailin's just doing the grab and hit foot sweep kind of stuff. And he's picked up a penalty for that. He's on 3.
Again.
And 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes gone.
He's on 3 again.
Again.
You know? It was in his last fight. Okay, he ended up with the score, but
maybe that's a strategy. I'll just score at some point in this fight. Can't comment much because nothing much is happening.
I'm really sorry. I mean, I came back from a break hoping to get into the commentary, and I bump into Mikhailin. He doesn't give you a lot, you know. I'm not sure what it is that goes through his head, and he gets wrapped up or consumed in this battle of where to put his hands. Okay, he's got his hands on him now. How long will he keep it there?
Well, what will he do with it?
He's broken one off.
Yeah.
For no reason, he broke one off. And he's broken the other one off, and now pushing the
backwards.
Okarashvili's hands away.
Yeah, so
And on 3 penalties.
yes, you don't do that. And then he'll complain and wonder why he was penalised. There we go.
I'm sure Uznadze is telling Okarashvili, just keep doing
What you're doing.
what Michalin is doing.
Yeah, here we go, out the
Yeah.
way.
This is absolutely no way for someone of Michalin's stature
And ability.
to lose a contest.
I mean, did you see one attack from him?
Sometimes I'm afraid to comment on it just in case he gets an English translation,
Someone tells him about you.
because I'm sure I'll get the biggest whack ever. But right, once we've seen the highlights, we're going to go to mat number 1. Just
Highlights?
yeah, I was going to say, let's just finish off watching this this exchange.
Oh, there was an attack to white. I must have missed that one.
Adam Okarashvili it is who will face Teddy Riner in the second of the semi-finals. We're down on mat number 1. Following the under 100 kilo category, it's Elkan Mammadov of Azerbaijan, the number 1 seed, and he faces David Alazar of Spain. So long plied his trade at under 90 kilos, but up there in the heavier weight now. Sure, he's much more comfortable there. No more weight cutting. A lot of judo left in this weight category.
You know what the Spaniard's trying to do there? He's got a one-handed cross grip low down and the other one off, and he just got penalised for it. So what we're talking about yesterday, Sheldon, the avoidable stuff.
Didn't need to go there, did he?
No.
And he's got 2 against him now. Mammadov leading by Wazari with 2 minutes left to go.
Yeah, it's a, oh no. It's hard to tell on that overhead what the landing's like.
I know.
Yeah.
What's really, really funny is that I have not spoken to any judo person who likes that shot.
No. You watch judo from underneath. Yeah.
Every time I have anybody up here or we talk about anything, they always say, don't like that overhead shot. And so many of you at home say the same thing. So you're right here with it. Or with us, sorry.
Now there is a Wazari up from Mammadov. So I don't know if it came in that exchange, did it? The one that we didn't see.
I didn't see it, yeah.
I think it may have.
Alazar trying to find a way past Mammadov. Mammadov has just got that air about him that this is done and dusted, and I just need to manage it.
50 seconds to go.
And the other thing is, it's not ugly.
Well,
you know, some fighters, they run and they drop and they do all sorts of things. He's standing up nice and tall, good and strong. He doesn't feel as though he's threatened. It's an unusual position that he's got himself
He
into.
can't keep there too long without attacking, so he's a non-standard grip.
And Lazar hasn't pressured him, you know, that's the thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's not.
He's trying. Looks like he's trying to outpower him, which is not working. So try something else.
He does pick up passivity
yeah.
penalty.
I mean, there's no question that Al-Azhar is pushing forward, and we talk about this. So I mean, you see, he's gone out. He's backed off, and then he's gone out.
Well,
the time is up.
I suppose with time running out and knowing that he still had
the safety valve,
another one in the bank.
Yeah.
Only at the end did it. Well, it actually never really got ugly. He'd scored. Yeah. He got the big positive score, and then he just said, "Okay, that's I'm not running. I'm not dropping or anything,
no,
but I don't need to do anything here." And he picked up the passivity penalty. That's a win there for the #1 seed, Elkan Mammadov of Azerbaijan. That will please Peter Seisenbacher, because the Azeris, they haven't hit the podium yet, have they?
No.
So Mammadov into the quarter-final. He'll face the winner of the upcoming contest, Ono Takashi of Japan in the white judogi, and Martin Pacek of Sweden in blue.
Pacek thinks he's going to do this on the ground on the first exchange.
Fancies himself as the near-was a man, does he? Well,
I don't know. Well, he went down there pretty quickly, so. Oh, here's a nice attack.
Ochigari right-sided from Ono. Pacek moving off quickly, just hopping backwards a little bit, and Ono not able to catch him on this occasion. Suzuki Keiji's in the chair for.
Yeah, we're just commenting. He's let his hair grow a little, and a little grey. He's looking very distinguished.
Yeah, yeah.
Another. Oh.
Pacek with the attempted sumigaeshi.
But had it moved.
So
we're not used to seeing him with hair.
I think you're right. He has got that slightly more distinguished look.
About him, yeah.
Looks as though he's got some money, you know.
Well, he's got a paying job.
Sharp suit and, you know, snazzy hairdo. Lucky for those who can talk about hairdos. Anyhow. 3:40 odd left to go. No score yet. Nice little contest taking shape here. Pacek a couple of attempts at the Sutemi Waza. Ono a few occasions with that Ochigari until just a second ago when he had that one Uchimata attempt that Pacek managed to not leap off, but he had one leg up in the air, didn't he? Just hop off maybe.
He had a penalty there. I thought that's a little harsh.
Pacek it
I
is,
was just commenting that they've gone a minute and a half. They're both having a go. And now one of them's got a penalty. So.
And it's a good little contest in
just let it go.
In prospect. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Someone will tell me off for saying that.
No, I absolutely agree with you. There are times when, you know, you get a feel for what's happening on the mat. And you think.
Don't you think something's going to happen here?
Yeah,
something's going to happen.
Exactly, both going. And when you get that feeling, you let it happen. Yeah. Pacek came with his Uchimata, and then he came with the Sutemi Waza attempt, neither of which really gave Ono any cause for concern. But it's part of that pattern of both fighters trying.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we wouldn't be speaking about the referee had he not given that Shido. It wouldn't have come into it.
No.
But now it's a little bit, well, did we need to? Somebody's going to do something here. A little bit of a battle for a grip now.
Here we go.
Oh yes, just enough.
Just a Yuko.
Yeah, just enough.
Initially, he managed to just do it on the hip, which wouldn't have scored, but he just finished
Yes.
it. Yeah.
That the
Just a second movement. Well, continuation of the same. It's not a second movement, but enough to induce the yuko.
so the hip contact followed by the top half of the body,
Yeah.
just on the side, was enough to bring up the yuko score. Thanks there, Dave. Not everybody at home will know exactly what the criteria is for scores.
Oh,
That was
here we
nice.
go. Nice. Should get a Wazari out of that. Yes, and he does.
It's the first time that he's launched at Seoinage. And it comes off.
Yep.
Morote Seoinage for
Yep.
Wazari, and that's
And a clear, you can see part of the back still, so
Yeah.
Wazari was very good for.
yeah. Minute 40 odd left to go. Ono leads by 2 scores here. Pacek trying to find a way through. He comes back to the Setemiwaza, this time Tomoinage, and
Which hasn't worked on the last 3 attempts. So.
but it's not a poor one.
No,
He-
but I
he
mean, he's
moves
been
his man, but no score from it. Just though he's put some weight on, doesn't he? A little full in the cheeks. I don't know who it is that's bled on Ono's
I'm going to
jacket.
tell him that.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He's a nice,
He
he's a
is
nice
guy.
one. I mean, I think you could probably say anything about the Japanese fighters and get away with it. But I don't think I'd risk it with
What?
Mikhailin.
Because they can't get the feed in Japan, is that why you're saying that?
Oh, they're pretty thick-skinned, aren't they? They're accustomed to being, you know, slated in the press. So if somebody from our team said something, they'd probably water off a duck's back. Inside the last minute.
Yeah. Ono's looking unfazed in this fight.
The winner will face Mamadov.
Dave and I were talking about Ono before, how he was fighting 81s and then to 90s and now under 100s. It's quite a movement, and
Yeah.
not common with Japanese fighters.
That's quite true. It's you know, you do your career normally in one weight.
Now we know that Suzuki used to move between under 100 and plus 100, but
Yeah, yeah. That's slightly
depending who was around at the time.
exactly. That was the,
Particularly poor.
yeah, that was the poorest of the lot.
Yeah.
And given that there are only 13 seconds on the clock, the movement, the power isn't there any longer.
Reeked of desperation, didn't it? And he gets penalised for it. And there ain't time for anything more.
That'll be it. Ono Takashi is the fighter who will face Ilkan Mamadov in the first of the quarterfinals. His parents are sitting away from us on the right-hand side, up in the stands, clapping and cheering on. Wearing white headbands and banners draped around them. Small crowd of fans up there. There's the Morote Seoinage that brought Pacek over. That was the Wazari score. Coming onto the mat now, Soyeb Kurbanov of Uzbekistan faces Yevgeny Borodavko of Latvia. It's Kurbanov in the white judogi and Borodavko in blue. Kurbanov just collapsing to the tatami there. Plus 78 kilo category is continuing down on mat number 3. We'll have a couple of contests up on mat number 1 soon. Those will be the quarterfinals. The first of the quarterfinals is already underway. That's the Olympic champion Idalis Ortiz up against Yasmin Kulbs of Germany down there on mat number 3. And coming up after that, Tachimoto Megumi of Japan and Lee Jung-un of Korea. Kurbanov looking to turn Borodavko over, but the Latvian's defense proves up to it. And the referee calls. Mate stands them up, and there's 4 minutes left to go. Cyril Marais of France and Levan Jojoliani of Georgia coming up after this one. Georgians in with a chance for medals today, because Adam Okroashvili is still in there.
So the Uzbeki picks up a non-combativity penalty.
There's a little over 3 minutes left. I mentioned Levan Zozoliani. He's still in the competition. Adam Okroashvili is still in the competition. They've picked up 2 silver medals so far. Valam Lipatiliani in the under 90 kilo category yesterday, and Aftandil Chirikishvili, a silver medal in the under 81 kilo category. They could medal again today twice. With Jojoliani, he's got the harder of the tasks, I think, and Okroashvili is the stronger of the pair. Half the contest gone, and Kurbanov.
We have this fight sort of shut down a bit. So Mr. Cortez tells the coach to be quiet, and then penalises both of them for non-combativity. Hopefully that'll spark a bit of action.
And it does.
Yeah.
Hasn't quite come up with a score yet, but almost wrapped him up and brought him down. Just could only get him to sit on his backside though.
Nice,
so
nice little poker.
Yeah. Little over 2 minutes left to go. Here comes Kurbanov again, but he can't get hold of the arm, and then he just slides off and collapses to the mat.
There'll be somebody somewhere in the world saying, why aren't they scoring the cokers? What is that idiot keep mentioning? Anyhow, it's interesting, this fight. White has looked more likely, but he's currently down. Now with a minute and a half to go, they're both actually starting to engage a bit.
Disaster looming large for the Japanese women down on mat number 3. I'm telling you that because Tachimoto Megumi has just been thrown for Wazari down on mat number 3. The Korean Lee Jung-un leads there. Now they've just waved that off. So that was a life there.
It's not often that Mr. Hempel gets it wrong.
I thought it would. Well, I was looking out the corner of my eye, but it looked like a good score to me.
Here we go. Oh. So they've started, and as I said, they've started to engage a bit. So there's might still be a positive score in this fight.
Half a minute to go. There you go. There's your positive score. Kurbanov just kept going, and now Borodavko has to tap out.
Yeah, but he looked the most likely.
Yep, he
But he was
kept
the
going.
one who was down. So anyhow,
Yeah, that conversation that we had, that would work, because Borodavko, it'd be useless for him to sit on the 3 penalties, because it's not taking him anywhere. So that would have gone into golden score, and we would probably have seen that anyway, where Kurbanov would have kept going and come up with the score eventually.
This is Sheldon's new theory on what should happen. How did you go with talking to the...
I haven't spoken to the chief yet.
No, okay.
The guy hasn't been around. I'm just wondering when... I've got something else that I want to ask him first anyway.
Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Coming up next, Cyril Marais of France. He faces Levan Zozoliani of Georgia. And Cyril Marais is adept at the same shimiwaza that we saw Yarden Jerby apply the other day. He carried that out in Paris at the Grand Slam there, and there were no complaints by the French team then. So it was quite laughable that they should be complaining about it here. Not least of all because a good number of their fighters actually employ the same technique. So I wonder if we'll get to see Marais trying that on Zozoliani. He had a little show of shimiwaza there, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was looking for the entry there. So Zozoliani's jacket is neatly tucked in, and in order to execute the shimiwaza that Jerby did, that needs to be out. If it's not, well, his jacket is already out, so he could do that, and then he wouldn't fall foul of the rule that says you cannot
just take it out yourself.
Yeah, intentionally disarrange your own gi. So that's done. That's already out. But that was another aspect of the rules that Jerby could have fallen foul of, because in order to execute it, she had to take it out, which she did. So all these little things are there to eat away at the execution of that technique. But the overriding thing is that it was so well done, and it was such a nice move to see, well planned, well set up, and it's all the things that we ask.
Yeah.
You know, there's absolutely no prospect of it being unsafe or anything like that. You know, there's no danger in there, and maybe it's just something that they should look at now.
Well, they're going to they have to, because they have to take that part out about the bottom of the gi.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you, that my initial watching of it was, wow, great technique. Not, is that legal?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a shame then to come up with 1 or 2 points that said, oh, you can't do that. Because it was more like that. The English are just saying, like, it's more than my job's worth. You know, and we call it job's worth. Both Marais and Zozoliani have picked up 2 penalties, so the scoreboard shows nice symmetry. Just looks a little bit ugly with the yellow cards on there. Half the contest, a little under half the contest still to come. Here comes Zozoliani over the top first, and then Marais joins him, and then they take up better grips. Although
still a bit extreme.
I was going to say, although Marais, to be honest, stretched out across there, and then he goes right-sided. But Giuliani's strong enough to fight him off. Giuliani just not staying with the tempo there, just getting it wrong, leaving it a little bit too long to attack. He picks up another penalty. Minute 30 odd left to go. Marais now, the clever French, know the position of the contest, and that clock seems to disappear pretty quick. The time on that clock seems to disappear pretty quick once you get into that last minute. So if you're going to do something, got to get it done now. Marais, however, hasn't got the luxury of too much leeway as far as penalties are concerned. He's already picked up 2. Here comes Giuliani again. Just not producing enough.
Oh,
that was poor.
Yeah. He's trying to have a go. Give him that. The first thing he's got to do is induce another penalty to even it up.
To even it up.
And there it
and
comes.
He does, yeah. French coach goes ballistic. Not at the referee, but at his player, because they're normally clever. This time it was Marais that got the tempo wrong. Tries to go left-sided there, leaves his feet a little bit lazily, and he then misses getting in the right position. So never really threatened Giuliani with that left-sided shoulder attempt. That also looked a little bit lazy.
It's interesting because, you know, if you do a Seoinage drop, it gets pinged. This one, to me, is just as bad. There's no breaking of the balance. Now you.
Oh, and you're right. He's going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it's the usual do-up your gears because I'm about to Hansaka Yumaki kind
That's
of
right.
situation.
Yeah,
so.
certainly is. I like the Georgians' change from a flag to a shield.
Yeah.
It's just something, you know, nice about it. I'm going to try and
heraldic.
Yeah.
Is that
exactly.
the word?
Yeah. Oh, and it's Giuliani who gets it for passivity.
I thought it was
for a drop.
Wow.
Ah. So Marais doesn't hang around.
I guess you could argue
that he had to try to block it.
it.
Yeah, he had to defend it.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. The second time I saw it, I thought, oh, actually, he had to defend it.
Yeah. No.
So
When we saw it live, the
yeah,
first time,
I didn't think so. I didn't think
good.
so. I agree with you. The first time I saw it, I thought, no, that's a drop. And then you only see it once more.
Yeah.
Oh, we actually had to defend it.
Exactly.
So right. Well, that one's done and dusted, much to the pain of the Georgian supporters, and we're already into the quarter-final. Maria Suelen Alphaman of Brazil faces Kim Un-kyung of Korea, and before we can get ourselves going, and this one is over before it really got going. Didn't waste any time, did she?
Now, this Brazilian is running to the little dance at the Olympics, isn't it? Which came off?
What, in the last?
At the Olympics?
No.
Not her?
No, it wasn't her.
I just remember one of the heavyweights did it, they came off.
Well, it would have been...
who?
It would have been Idalis Ortiz, the Cuban.
Okay.
And she would have danced because she won gold.
Yeah.
So
just something that stuck in my mind at the time. It was quite cute.
We may yet see it.
Good, strong attack there. Right, and good gripping.
Now, if you want to see this quarter-final, Larissa Cherik and Emily Andiol, just stay on mat number 1. But there's another quarter-final going up, taking place down on mat number 3. That's Henk Grol of the Netherlands, and he faces Dimitri Peters. They were both bronze medalists at the Olympics in London. So let's take a look at this tough matchup. Grol of the Netherlands in white, Peters of Germany in blue. There's only 30 seconds left, and Peters has picked up 2 penalties.
And that finishes it on those penalties. I haven't seen much of Grol today. Have you seen?
I did actually. I did see one of his fights early on, and Peters.
Because with Grol, I think he has in the past had a tendency to wait for the counters, which he's very good at. And sometimes his opponent appears to be more active, and he loses out because of that.
Well, the 2 penalties picked up by Dimitri Peters, who has gifted the contest really to Henk Grol. The next contest is Lukasz Kopalek of the Czech Republic. He faces Ramzidin Saidov of Uzbekistan. We'll see Peters again, but he'll be in the repechage.
Oh, very quick penalty for a false attack.
Well, I'm okay with that. If it's a false attack, it's a false attack.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember.
There's nothing worse than just saying, "Oh, I'll let this one go," and then they penalise the next one.
Yeah,
yeah.
I do remember one of the coaches saying to me, "Sheldon, what did you think of that? It was 3 penalties, you know, inside the first 40 seconds." Your guy made 3 mistakes. He kept making the same mistake, which is going over, you know, and holding. Okay, Shido in 8 seconds, Shido in 20 seconds, and Shido in 40 seconds.
Exactly.
But there were 3 mistakes.
Yeah.
Said he spoilt the fight. I said, what?
And sometimes that can be like the cross grip and do nothing, you know, and then they wonder why.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, right, yeah. That seems to be one of the biggest infringements.
Well, the winner of this will face Henk Grol. So that promises to be a good matchup. Immediately after this is finished, we'll go down to mat number 1. But the quarterfinals are taking place down there in the plus 78 kilo category. It's possible, depends how long Kopalek and Saidov take over it, but we will go down to mat 1 after.
Action on Nawas are outside, so they're brought back to the middle. And the penalty's coming up. So all square now, the penalty stakes. Bit of a hint of a counter was going to occur there, but all ended with nothing.
A little over 2 minutes left to go. Kapalik and Saidov. There's never ever been any doubt about Kapalik's fighting ability. Often been questions about the quality of his tachiwaza.
Right.
Or nagewaza, really, you know. He's a, you know, strong built man, and
Yep, the Uzbekistani picks up another penalty, this time for a false attack, and it's now waved away.
his colleagues thought that that was harsh. So they would have encouraged him to get rid of that, which he did. So it's still just the penalty apiece.
Well, not encouraged. There's two of them there who overrule him. So it's still the old majority of three. Yeah. So
I didn't want to be too harsh on Mr. Minakawa.
No, but I think a lot of people think he's out there on his own. When actually there are still three referees, but two of them are off the mat with the monitors. So they still assist him.
Saidov just collapsed there, didn't he? Felt the pressure from Kapalik and went into defense mode. Picks up a second penalty.
Looks like this one's sticking.
Tries to go left-sided. Kapalik proving strong. Difficult to get hold of. And he comes with a big left arm over the top, and then Saidov with Sutemi effort that Kapalik manages to block, and now he's defending on the ground, but not a great deal happening there. So Edison Minikawa calls mate. There's a minute left to go in this one. And on mat number one, the contest between Elkan Mamadov and Ono Takashi is underway. As soon as this one is done, we'll go down there.
So far in this fight, we haven't had the impression that anyone's going to throw anybody, have we?
No, and speaking of throws, there's been one down on mat number one. Elkan Mamadov has thrown Ono Takashi for Wazari. So it's the Azeri leading down on mat number one, and we're going to be going down there any second now. Here comes Saidov to give whatever little he's got left. But Kapalik just shakes him off, literally. And then there was nothing there from Kapalik. He didn't have his hands on him as he fell to the tatami.
It's all over. Now there's no highlights to see, so should we shoot down?
Yep, let's go down to mat number one, and we'll join the action between Elkan Mamadov of Azerbaijan and Ono Takashi of Japan. There's a minute 50 odd left to go, and it's Mamadov who leads by Wazari.
good attack from Mamedov, so he's not sitting on his lead.
You were right about the highlights from the Kapalik contest. They went straight to a blonde in the crowd, so they obviously agreed with you. No highlights from that particular one.
Well, this is interesting because Mamedov's still making the play, and frustrating Ono. If he keeps attacking, then of course your opponent can't. So
Lukáš Kapalik of the Czech Republic will face Henk Grol of the Netherlands. That's in the second of the semi-finals. We're looking to see who's going to take part in the first. Mamedov just gathering himself after that blow to the lower abdominal region. It's a man thing.
I thought it was lower than that. Oh.
And then for his pains, he picks up another penalty, this time for dropping. Cathy Mouette is the referee, and nice effort there. Wasn't sure if there was enough of the body, because he had his own body in the way there.
No, but it looked close, Interesting to see that on replay.
Yeah, I liked it for a Yuko. Trying to work on the arm. Oh no, cleverly waiting until he had the right moment to turn, and then
So
he did, and
here
onto
we
his
go,
front. Here we go.
Probably okay not to give that. More frontal than side.
No score given. 20-odd seconds left to go. And Mamedov, as he did in his previous contest, just massaging his way to the end here.
All right, another penalty.
And launches himself at the Azeri, and almost catches him,
But
and
doesn't.
cleverly, immediately, that he saw that one was no score, he was up.
Gets up. Nice attack though.
He's trying to rush his man. He wants to fight, doesn't he? Because he can see that Mamedov doesn't. Mamedov didn't go to the ground there. He stayed up twice. When normally he would. He would have gone.
Yeah,
but he can't.
risk it.
Because, yeah, so they know what they're doing. You know. That, for me, is the important thing there. He scored the Wazari, and he's the one that's going to be going through here. Oh no, just has to suck that one up. Not happy with it, but now to be Donchuk. You know, you've got to put a score on the board, and if you can't, then it's proving very, very difficult. The interpretation of the rules makes it really difficult for someone if there's no score on the board. They gave out 3 penalties to Mamedov, and we all know that giving the 4th is like the last resort. And you get that feeling that they just give you that little bit of leeway because you've had the positive score. And to be honest, you know, he was the one who got the score on the board.
Yep, and it was a good score as well. Very good, Wazari.
Next contest, and the last one of this first part of the day, is Soyib Kurbanov of Uzbekistan, and he faces Cyril Marais of France. There's another Shimiwaza effort from...
No, he's going for that. He's going for that hold. Oh, what combination actually?
See, there's the jacket.
Yep.
It's done it already, but couldn't get it working. See what I mean? It was out and coming. They're gonna have to deal with this.
Well, what happens? It's got exposure now.
Yeah, exactly, at the highest level.
Yeah, people are going to say, "Oh, I got to do this."
Yeah. Well, on YouTube last night there was a guy demonstrating it, you know, and not only that, he labelled it the Derby choke. Cheeky Neville. Mind you, he is not a bad judoka himself, so
You're right.
I'm going to... he's from down under, mate.
Who was that?
Oh, I'm not going to say, am I?
Certainly not Lance Wicks.
Oh dear, that was harsh. That was harsh. Kurbanov and Murray going at it. It's my little secret. Yes,
Oh,
caught him this time. It wasn't attractive the first time round, but this time he
And
got
the
him.
hold.
So, big Makikomi. The Osai Komi couldn't quite be held long enough. Oh, Harai Makikomi as well into the bargain. I hated practicing that. Hated it. Makikomi is bad enough, but the Harai Makikomi, yuck.
Especially when you're tied up and all that's going to hit the ground is your shoulder.
You got whipped over, didn't you? You know? Why would coaches want you to, you know, practice that over and over again? Hated it.
This days before the crash mats, was it?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Mamadov waits for the winner of this. Could be Azerbaijan and Uzbekistan in the first semi-final. Frenchman Marais looking to...
It certainly looks that way with half the match gone. Of course, if the Frenchman's able to pull a Wazari back, but he's not, he gets thrown again.
second score on the board now. Yuko, and I wonder what Kurbanov will do. Not a lot.
Good trapping of the feet there.
Same technique. He's caught him with it twice. I think he's going to go a third time. It's Marais that
Wazari
catches
given
him.
on the counter.
Yeah, on the counter. Just whipped away the left leg and turned him, didn't he?
From the outside, yes.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
problem.
yeah, from the outside. Well, Kurbanov putting a bit of a beating on Cyril Marais in the end. Right, well, Dave Brown and I are going to do the wrap up because David McFall was late coming back from his lunch. So no points for the American today.
No.
Right. Kurbanov into the semi-final. We'll see Marais again, but it'll be in the repechage, and I'm delighted to have the opportunity to wrap things up with Dave Brown and to say how much we've appreciated his insight, his knowledge, and his experience. We've been lucky to have his company here, twice a referee at the Olympic Games. And you're not done yet, are you, mate? You've got some stuff to do. Yeah.
Like to be good to finish in the Commonwealth next year. But,
Yeah, that'd be a good crowning moment.
Yeah, of course.
Tell us a little bit about we'll go backwards today. We'll start with the heaviest weight first. Your impressions of the plus 100 kilos. I mean, we've seen the Brazilian Rafael Silva. We've seen the big man with his turnovers, the German Andreas Tölter. Teddy Riner been in there and not tested, but he's shown us a couple of things. And then Adam Okrashvili, the Georgian. Those are the four up there. Where's your money going?
Well, it's clear. I think Riner will get to the final, and I think he'll. I think Toza is going well today, and I think you get past Silva.
Yes, yesterday we had the under 90 kilo category, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and I said that the only time that happened in the Olympics was in the under 63 kilo category. What's happened here again?
Yep.
Silva, Tulsa, Rinne, Okrashvili. The seeding has worked out again. And my man Dave, Big Dave, said it's going to be Tulsa and Rinne. I don't doubt that for a moment. The under 100 kilo category, we've just seen the last of the quarterfinals there. That lineup is going to be Mamedov and Kurbanov, Grohl and Kerpalik. What do you think about Mamedov and Kurbanov?
I think that's a 50-50 bet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got a view?
They both, well, Mamedov was dragging a bit at the end, but it was a hard fight against Ono.
Yeah, sure.
And he'd actually had a bit of a go with Alazar, didn't he? Alazar just held him up momentarily. Grohl and Kerpalik?
We haven't seen that much of Grohl in a really aggressive thing. I think he's got a bit left in the tank. I'd be inclined for Grohl to get through to that final.
I think you might be.
But I think that who wins the final is still very much up for grabs.
We're not going there yet. Okay. Maria Suellen Althaman, she's the home favourite, the Brazilian heavyweight. She faces Amélie Andiol of France in the first of the semi-finals in the plus 78 kilo category for women, and then the current Olympic champion Idalis Ortiz of Cuba, who faces Tachimoto Megumi of Japan, who dodged a bullet against Lee. They gave Lee Wazari, the coach was screaming Ippon, and then they actually took it away completely. So she came back to throw Lee for Ippon, by the way. So Tachimoto Megumi is the remaining hope for Japan as far as the gold is concerned, because Shichinoe lost out.
My view is that it's going to be a Pan-American final.
Ortiz and Althaman then.
Yep.
Okay, that's Dave's call. We'll be back at 4 o'clock, and when we bring you the repechage contests and all the medal matches on the final day of individual competition, because of course we've got the team event taking place on Sunday. It's possible that we'll do the draw at 3 o'clock, but I'm not sure. You're not going to really miss a great deal there, because we'll let you know what happens anyway. But from all the broadcast team, Dave Brown again, thanks very much, Dave, for joining us. It's a real pleasure, especially because it's nice to have a knowledgeable referee up here rather than our untrained guesswork. But
I think you've been a bit harsh.
No, not at all. We don't know why it is. Sometimes we can guess correctly. Sometimes we can even correct. But the important thing here is Dave knows the difference about why it is that something is the way it is, and that is actually a big difference. So my thanks to you again, Dave Brown. So from all the broadcast team here in Rio for the time being, we'll see you again at 4 o'clock. Bye-bye for now.